Okay, so this is going to be a little update video, just telling you where we're at about the cows going out and everything. But I just also thought I'd tell you about the 3 interesting phone calls I've had in the last week. Do you know, the one thing about doing YouTube videos is that it does, random people pop up in your life because of it, and you do have nice conversations with people you wouldn't normally expect. First one of these is Tom Pemberton. Some of you might watch him on his farm life videos. He's got a YouTube channel which is very good, and we kind of overlap in the way that we're a small dairy farm. I like his style. I think he's a very nice, interesting chap, and me and him, we just contact each other randomly every now and then through Messenger on Facebook. Until the other week, I actually spoke to him. I phoned him up for the first time. It was random, really. I was talking about round bales on Facebook. I was trying to sell some, you might remember, and he messaged me and said, "How are you getting on with that?" And I thought, you know what? Rather than just messaging back and forwards, I'll phone him up. So we had a really nice chat, actually. Do you know what? Sometimes it's just so much better to speak to someone, because you can just be messaging people backwards and forwards, and it's just sometimes easier to chat, really. We had a really nice chat, all sorts of things random about the farm, about YouTube and stuff, and until the phone battery failed on my phone, and then that was the end of that. So I will get back in touch with him again. I'm pretty sure we're going to meet up at some point, because me and him, we're quite similar. I think we like a bit of a laugh. I certainly like to meet him for a pint sometime. Unfortunately, he doesn't live nearby. He's up north or Midlands direction, and he'd probably tell you which one he is. I don't know. I'm down south. At some point, our paths across, I know, because it's just inevitable, really. I think. So look out for that YouTube video one day in the future, maybe, you know, whenever. Second phone call. Randomly weird. So you know the Norton trailer I did up a while back, this one. How are you getting on with yours, Jack?
So I'll just put on mine now. That's on me to hold them bit here.
Yeah, do you want me to help you? Okay. Well, Mr. Norton phoned me up this week. How about that? There is actually a Mr. Norton. He set up the company back in the 70s. Harry's here, look, wandering around. We'll have a chat with him in a minute. He set up the company in the 70s, and there is a Mr. Norton. He is Mr. Norton. The Norton trailers are named after him. And what happened is he'd found one of my videos on YouTube and spotted it, and he really loved watching it because he said it brought back loads of memories about when he built the trailers back in the 70s and 80s. And he's now in his late 70s, I think. Interesting things he told me. He said his wife designed the Norton sticker logo, which is really nice. And you know, just to speak to him was really lovely. So we had a really nice conversation about the trailers and things like that. Incidentally, I do hope to go and see the people who now manufacture the Norton trailers, because the company went bust, unfortunately, back in 2000 and something. They bought out the rights to it, and someone else now makes the trailer, so hopefully one day I'll do a video on that. And finally, where we're talking about, what I'm going to be talking about in a minute, or looking at in a minute, is the grass situation and when we're going to let our cows out. Because last week I had a phone call from Radio 4. Now, you might not be aware of this, but Radio 4 Farming Today programme is actually produced in Bristol. So I do pop up on there occasionally. Just being a farmer near Bristol is easy for them. And they phoned me and said, are you letting your cows out? When are you letting your cows out? Because we want to come and do a piece about the cows going out. But the trouble was, they wanted to do it this week, on I think it was Wednesday this week. Difficulty for that is that our cows aren't quite ready to go out yet. I think we need another week to 10 days before they can go out. So I actually said to them, you're probably better off trying someone a bit further south, maybe Somerset or somewhere like that, where it's a little bit warmer, because obviously as you go south it's a little bit milder and the grass is growing quicker. And I heard it this morning on the way to work, so I'm recording this on Wednesday. And they'd actually gone down to Yeo Valley in Somerset, so they had actually followed my advice and headed to Somerset. Which brings me on to what I'm going to be talking about now, the grass situation. I think our cows will probably go out in about 10 days' time, maybe a week. Harry?
Yeah.
A week, is that all right?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is there just isn't quite enough grass in the field. I'm going to walk out now. I got the fertiliser on, some of it last week, some of it this week. I was a little bit late putting fertiliser on. Ideally I'd like to get it on a bit earlier, but just things caught up with me. I just didn't have the time. So we'll have a look down now. And this is the first field they always come out into, the new orchard. And the grass, I put fertiliser on it, but it probably hasn't really had a chance to go in yet. I don't know whether we can see any fertiliser. You can probably just see it. Actually, that's probably fertiliser there. That's just breaking down. Look, a little bit of sort of white on there. So the fertiliser hasn't really done its job yet. Yeah, you can still see it on the ground, because since I had, can you see that? Little white dots there. Since I put it on, it hasn't really rained. So this hasn't really got going, so I need a bit of rain. And what do you think, Harry?
Don't know.
Don't know. What about when I let the cows out?
Huh?
Oh, this is our tree here.
Oh.
Turn that over, that bit of wood.
What?
That's a bit. Look, there we go. What does that say on there? Oh, hang on, let's turn it the other way.
That would help.
That would help.
Or not.
That's our tree. I've got to put that plaque back on the fencing stakes. So this is our tree, planted in 2010, before Harry was born. It's Cox's orange pippin. Oh, I just noticed that it's where that stake is. It's been rubbing on the tree. Look, that's not good. Look, you can see the rub mark where the blowing in the wind. It's been rubbing on there. I'm gonna have to do something about that. But it's not looking too bad. But yeah, so unfortunately my lateness of putting the fertiliser on just hasn't it hasn't gone into the ground yet and done its job. But that's the nature of farming. It's always so much to do. I'm so flat out all the time. I just don't get the chance to do everything I want to. And I really want to get the cows out next week, because I'm hoping to take a few days off with the kids for Easter. I haven't had a day off actually in the week since November when the cows came in, because I just can't take the time off because I'm working all the time. So I'd really like to get a couple of days off with the kids at Easter holidays. What do you think, Harry? Would you like me to take a day off over Easter?
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Don't know.
Oh, what you got there?
Feather.
Do you know what that bird's from? Have a guess.
Pigeon.
Well done. It's a pigeon feather. Hold it up to the camera, everyone can see it. Harry's pigeon feather. Well done. It's cool, isn't it? Right. Okay, I'm going before I get tickled to death by Mr. Pigeon Man here. So that's just an update. We're a bit behind with the grass and the fertiliser. The grass has not grown much yet because it hasn't had an impact. We will get the cows out maybe next Friday. Okay, cheers everyone, bye. Oh God.